Hi guys, welcome to GeeDee's Food for Thought. Today is January 1st, 2026. It is 12:21 a.m. Y'all might be seeing angel numbers 111, 222, 444, 1221, 144, 666, and 888. 1010. Okay. This is my message. So, y'all been watching me go through my spiritual awakening, right? Y'all been watching me be okay, go all the way down to the bottom, and restart, go through healing, and just, you know, rebuild from the ground, okay? However, in that process, I had to go through a season of solitude, you know? If you know, you know. Going through that season of solitude, I went through a lot of different phases, aspects, point of views, research, learning, all that great stuff. And it dawned on me this morning when I was, y'all know my meditations can be different, everybody's different. Meditating is a point where you can literally let your mind go free and let it do what it do itself. And when you learn to do that, to be able to actually just relax your mind and let your brain think, and you kind of let go of the control of the thinking, if you know, things will come to you. And it's like, damn, something so simple I never really thought about like that. So that brings me to what I'm going to say now. Y'all know we all believe in certain, and I'm going to use the word rituals for the new year. And in terms of ritual, it's like a lot of us don't really think of these acts as rituals, but they are. Like eating stewed tomatoes and black-eyed peas, confirmation. Also, us doing the thing where the first man that walks in your door have money in his pocket, confirmation. And another one is the cinnamon, confirmation, right? Those are rituals. It's witchcraft, We got people, I'm not gonna say people, I'm gonna say us, because I'm included in people. A lot of us, first of all, don't think about it in that manner or that term because we're taught that, witchcraft, black magic, all that stuff isn't real. But, however, we're also taught things to do to alter energy, whether you're doing it with good intention or bad. We also, even if it's not nothing like super deep, it's things that's so simple, like eating black-eyed peas and stewed tomatoes. It's a ritual. It's witchcraft. It's a difference between practicing white witchcraft and dark witchcraft. Now, just because you do ritualistic things, that does not make you a witch. It don't. However, when you're doing practices that is intended to alter any type of energy around you or pull in or bring anything, because remember, that's energy work. When you do stuff in intention for it to be able to keep away or protect you from X, Y, Z from happening or this, that, it's a ritual and it's energy work, period. But I say that to say, you can't believe in the good without the bad. So if you believe in that stuff bringing in you goodness, prosperity, abundance, you have to understand the other side of it. Like people doing love spells. Y'all know, even when I was a kid, we used to hear about putting blood in the spaghetti and stuff, which is totally disgusting and not something that I'm against. But I'm not against white magic. I'm not against the eating stewed tomatoes and black-eyed peas if you feel like that really works for you. I'm not against, because it can work for some people and some people it might not to. But when it don't work, it's because you don't really believe. You don't believe. See, in order to manifest things, your mind have to align with what you're saying. Meaning, you have to actually believe in what you're saying. Like when you're going through stuff and you feel like everything's falling apart. However, you know and believe that God ain't gonna put more on you than you can bear. You put your big girl panties on and you deal with whatever's in front of you, and you handle what you can control, and you put in God's hand what you can't, which gives you that peace and ease of mind. But y'all know, I go all around in a circle. Excuse me when I'm giving a message. But again, you can't believe in the good without the bad. Like, you gotta know, if you believe in the black-eyed peas and all that stuff, which I do. I believe in witchcraft. I do. Okay? However, when the intent is what makes it different. People burn white candles in their house because it brings good luck and all this stuff, but they don't believe that people will actually put blood in their food. They don't believe people will actually go pay somebody that do practice heavily in spell work to send chaos magic to you or to put roots on you. They don't believe in that, but they will believe in other things. And I'm saying us as people. So that's something to think about. I think this year is going to be a year of a lot of enlightenment. I think this year is going to be a year where people are going to open their minds up and look at things from a higher perspective and a broader view, opposed to just looking at it from one corner. Like, yeah, I believe in eating the black-eyed peas and stewed tomatoes, but when somebody come to you and say, somebody done, did this or that energetically, or they're cooking up certain herbs with certain intentions against you, it's like, that's not real. Then how do you believe in the other stuff? What's the difference? I mean, witchcraft is witchcraft. Either you believe in it or you don't. Now, your intentions, whether you're doing white witchcraft to help yourself and to be like prosperous in your own life, or you're doing things to hinder stuff against other people. Now, that's a totally different conversation. But I was just led here to drop that piece, a nugget. Because it's hard to, sometimes it's hard to grasp things that's so simple. And I say that in a sense of me speaking on my own self and how this spiritual awakening has broke off the limiting beliefs that I've had. Because let me tell you, before my awakening, I was always a little odd. I'm not gonna say I was odd, but I always believed in more than the eye can see. Always. But in the same breath, I still didn't think about little stuff like that as like in a broader view until I started going through my journey. And people look at like a spiritualist, people that read cards and all this stuff, like, oh my God, they're bad. But that like, I'm trying to tell you, I've learned so much, and so much. I've learned good and bad. I've learned about the dark and the light. However, which side of the fence you stand on is totally up to you. And on another sense, we do things every day, every year, ritualistically. And another word I'm going to use for ritualistically is routinely. An intent for XYZ, and not even put it together. 844 was on my clock, 88844, and not put it together as this is witchcraft. Anything that I'm doing on a consistent basis, or a consistent time, a consistent era of the year for a certain intention, especially we were taught this is a form of a ritual. Just like a church is I'm going to say is a coven or a covenant, whatever. Because, a coven or a cult is a group of people that gather together, that share the same beliefs. I mean, whether you are sharing beliefs that are love and light, or is dark and malicious, that's totally up to you. So a lot of people, I feel like we have got trained in a way that we are limited in the way that we look at things and the wording of things to make us feel like it's one thing when in reality we're trained to look at things a certain way. We're trained to use certain words for certain things, so it could look like two different things when really it's the same. We're trained to think, oh, okay, black magic, witchcraft, all that stuff is not real, but we're also trained to practice these rituals in a sense of us manipulating energy using little things we've learned to affect energy. But again, it's something that we can sit here and it's so simple, but it seems like the simplest answers are the most complex to find. Because, if you know, you know. And when you're not thinking about stuff in a broader perspective, and you're thinking about it from like a limiting belief, and you're just going with the flow and you're not looking into stuff yourself, is how something so vain like that can be completely misconstrued. So I'm just the messenger, right? And that's just something I wanted to say, because that's just a jewel, like I said again, for myself, that I never put into that type of perspective until I literally was just thinking about it, like, that's a ritual, aka that's, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying practicing doing things like that is a bad thing. I'm not saying that, because I believe in it. I just don't believe in manipulating energies and doing things that with bad intent for other people, in terms of witchery, witchcraft, whatever you want to call it. And going through my journey, also another thing I've learned is to not be ashamed of my beliefs. Like, especially when you don't have no bad intentions for people, you know what I'm saying? That's just that. People will accept who you are or they don't, but at the end of the day, that has nothing to do with you. As long as you're being true to yourself and who you are, you're going to be prosperous this year. But if you still haven't learned that degree of being able to be authentic and standing in your own skin, being able to figure out life through your own eyes and use your own brain and your own interpretation of things, you will always stay blinded. You see how easy that was for us to debunk that, but how easy it was for us to look at it from their point of view too. It's easy for them to say, do this and that, because that'll bring you good luck. But it's also easy for people to convince us that, oh, that stuff's not real. When somebody says somebody put a love spell on you, or did something to, even have an SDX on your period. That is a ritual. That alters energy. That creates blood ties, But from a limited point of view, you're just having SEX on your cycle. And now you don't see or know why you can't get rid of a person, place, or thing. Well, think about it. Like, all that stuff matters. And I could go deep, but I'm not. Because I don't like putting my idea or my perspective of things to other people or forcing my beliefs. I like to challenge people to look stuff up themselves. Research it yourself. Now, what you do with the information is on you. Whether you look stuff up and you feel like it's a good idea, hey, I'm going to go try it. Just know that everything that you do whether it work or not, will come back your way in the same intent that you had. So if you go out here manipulating and researching and reading up on candle magic and all that stuff, and you start messing with stuff, you ain't got no business. Because to be honest, it's not for everybody to be practicing and doing. A lot of that is genetic and your bloodline and all, and I could go deep, but I'm not. You have to do your own research. We all have a place in this world. We all have a journey. We all have a reason. We all have something we're supposed to be doing. And it's for you to figure it out. Some people here to teach and to lead and to help heal and to utilize things like that. And some people it's not for you to touch. But until you go discovering who you are and where you come from and what your purpose is, you won't have a clue, and you be messing with things you ain't got no business. Now, doing things like eating the stew and all that stuff is something that you're doing to help prosper yourself. Anybody can do it. Now, when you start dibbling and dabbling into other things outside of that and going to other degrees and levels and getting deeper into that, now that's where it matters in terms of your spiritual ranking and your bloodline and things like that. But I'm going to keep this simple. That's something for you to think about. I think this year is going to be all about us learning how to see things from a broader view, a higher perspective, and utilizing ourselves to interpret. Just like people are different religions because of the way they interpret the Bible, which makes them form their belief system. That's why you have so many different religions. Confirmation, I always like to say 555 on the clock. That's why I don't put no title in what I believe, because I believe in it all. But the one thing that I know is never going to change is there is only one God, and He rules everything. That's one belief I think should be universal. Hey, but I don't judge, to each his own. But that's the only thing that differs in religion, is the way people interpret the Bible. So challenge yourself to learn and research and use your own brain and your own mind to interpret what you're reading, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, and what is right, what is wrong. And not just continue to go off of what somebody taught you, especially what you were taught when you were young and your brain wasn't even fully developing. You're learning how to be a decent person. You're learning how to act. You're learning how to live. You're learning what does worse. You're learning about your physical body. You're learning about so much that the detailed stuff is easily programmed in us. That's why when you turn grown and you start, well, I'm not going to say grown, when you start doing and learning and growing things of your own, you tend to change and look at things differently. That's why the person you meet, when you could grow up with a group of friends and y'all do everything and liking everything the same, but as soon as y'all go out there on your own, it seems like night and day, salt and pepper, because everybody interpreted things and life and experiences different, or they just stuck to what they were programmed to believe. That's just that. However, that doesn't make nobody better or less. That doesn't make anyone worthier or less worthy. It's just something to think about for yourself, something for you to actually go back through in your mind of things that your grandparents, your parents, and people around you taught you and said, and you watched them do, and how that affected you and the way you look at things and what you believe in. Is it aligned? Do you still have more questions? And if you do, make it do what it do. Figure it out. But don't go through life limiting yourself just off of what you were programmed to think. And you would see how many little simple things that you were taught to believe one side of the coin and not believe in the other just really don't make sense. And how much simple things that we know or see was taught will logically align to the things that they say aren't real. I'm just saying. I will be doing an energy pull later on today, so y'all make sure that y'all are checking out and liking and following my Ancestor Says page. I don't say share because I know that it's going to fall in a place where it's going to fall in front of the people that is meant to see it. Okay, so link right there, and as I always say, remember to pray. Bye, guys.